So strong.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode here on the Train Hard Live Strong podcast. I'm your host, Coach Matt, and today we have an amazing guest speaker on the show. Someone who's been through it, y'all. Like someone who has an amazing perspective and view on herself, her body, and what's been going on with inside her health. And not just that, but the way that she's viewed herself throughout this entire journey, even before it, is truly amazing. So anyone out there right now who is suffering with any body positivity or anything that they have towards viewing themselves, this is going to be the podcast episode for you. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, here's our guest speaker today, Andrea Elliott. What's up, girl? How you doing?
Good. Happy to be here.
Yeah, it's very nice to finally talk to you and see you in person. So it's gonna be fun.
Yeah,
it's good. So we live pretty close to each other. We're both in Houston.
Yes.
Yeah, you're like 20 minutes away from me.
Yeah, it's like 20, 30 minutes. Not too bad.
Right, and you've been here in Houston for a while.
All my life.
All your life.
33 years.
No way.
Yeah. 33 years.
Okay, and you were like Houston.
Houston. Yeah, A-Leaf. I grew up in A-Leaf, Southwest Houston.
Okay, wow. So, I'm from California.
Okay.
I moved to Arizona like in junior high-ish.
Okay.
And then went to high school. And then after a year later is when I enlisted. And then I was in Alaska for the past 4 years.
Oh, shit. Okay.
Yeah,
so when did you come here to Houston?
2017.
Oh, okay. Oh, so you're fresh.
Yes.
Oh, dude. Yeah,
Yeah.
you live out in the outskirts.
Yeah.
Have you been to like Houston?
Oh, yes.
Houston.
So I have been.
This is like sister Houston.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so where I'm at, what would you call it? The sister Houston or like?
Yeah, this isn't even Houston.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's just like what? It's not suburbs either.
This is the burbs.
This is, right?
Burbs, yeah.
See, I don't know my stuff yet.
Yeah, no, you got to go to like the Heights or like East Downtown. Yeah, how old are you, Matt?
Okay, I'm 26. I just turned 26.
Dude, yeah, you got to go where everybody else like you live. Like,
yeah, right.
Yeah, if you're single.
No, my girlfriend's here actually.
Okay, well then yes, both of you guys though, are y'all trying to like settle down and have kids? If you're trying to settle down and have kids, then this is like the place for you. If you guys are just trying to like thrive and like live y'all's best like. Not single lives, but like y'all's best like thriving
party life, yeah,
and just like having fun with like other couples. Then the Heights and like that area, East Downtown, like that area is for you.
Your
guys.
spot. It's funny because we are pregnant. We're having a boy in 2 months.
Oh my god!
Yeah,
Congratulations.
thank you. I know it's so fun. That's why it's so cool to have you here too, because you've had 2 kids.
Yes.
So it's gonna be so cool. Yeah.
So do you have any names? Are you?
Yes, Damien, Luca, Santiago.
Oh,
I know. It kind of just goes in, huh?
That's really nice.
Yeah, I like it too. Thank you.
Yeah.
So for everyone who doesn't know who you are, our current listeners, future listeners, can you give like a nice little background story about who you are and how you got to where you are today?
Okay, so I'm 33 years old. I'm a single mother of 2 boys, 13 and 9. I have been on my fitness journey for about 6 years. I was diagnosed with lupus in December 2014. It's an autoimmune disease.
Right.
This is my 3rd autoimmune disease. I also suffer from hypothyroidism and Hashimoto's. Those kind of go hand in hand with each other. And when I was diagnosed with lupus, I was just given a bunch of prescription medicines and was just kind of told, here, take these, and like, God be with you, basically.
Right. That's crazy.
At that point, I had hit my rock bottom. Lupus is hereditary. It's not anything that, because I was overweight, as a result, I inflicted upon myself. It just happened to just come out. But since then, I decided to take matters in my own hands. I lost about 40 pounds in doing like a Whole30 before Whole30 was a thing,
right?
Yeah, or before I knew about it. And I was just really trying to figure out what my flare-ups were. And so a flare-up feels like if you ever got into a fight or like had your like butt whooped,
right,
and then had the flu. So it's like body aches, it's fibromyalgia. It's very excruciating. People die from lupus, or they die from the symptoms of it.
Okay.
It like attacks your body. Your it's people typically get like a butterfly rash.
That's so strange.
They're typically sensitive to the sun. I fortunately am not. But I had to change my entire eating habits and just try to go from there and see what triggered this and what triggered my flare-ups. A lot of that was food related, and I think a lot of our diseases today typically happen from our stem from food.
Oh, absolutely.
Yes. So
Yes.
I was able to find out through 4 to 5 months of just kind of doing this on my own and just trying to figuring out that anything fried, dyed, processed, red meat, pork,
it created flare-ups.
Chocolate, yes, everything. Alcohol just created flare-ups, and they were very excruciating.
Wow.
I mean, I had to be on pain medication, and I didn't like taking the pain medication. I didn't like the way the pain felt.
Yeah, right.
So I did that, and then I started also doing like cardio and just getting on the elliptical for, however many, like 30 minutes to an hour, a few
Just
times
trying
at
to
the
do
gym.
what you
yeah,
could.
just trying to like move my body.
Figure it out.
Body emotion stays in motion. So, I lost 40 pounds in about 4 months, and was like, okay, I feel better. Let's see, but I was almost 240 pounds and was about 200 pounds at this point, and had a lot of loose, saggy skin.
Right.
And one of my girlfriends was like, why don't you lift weights? And I was like, but I don't want to be like this big, buff man or whatever. That's like in my dreams, but I just don't want to be this like big, buff man. So after she suggested that, I remember like going over to like the weight rack or like where the dumbbells were at, and was like, I'm just going to randomly do curls. Like I had no idea what I was doing. Right. And I remember I just started looking on like Instagram and just started doing what the Instagram girls were doing. Okay. And I was self-taught. I had a lot of injuries, but by the end of that year, I had lost 60 pounds.
Wow. This is, you said 2016?
15.
15. Okay.
2015, I lost 60 pounds. And I felt great. I had a love for lifting weights, and from then it progressed from there. But my weight loss journey was not, and that's something that I definitely want to let your listeners and anyone else listening know, that my journey was not, it was not linear. And so my journey, the next year I ended up gaining 30 pounds because I was trying to do a bulk. Like I see the Instagram models or
like,
Instagram
I'm going to try
girls,
this thing out.
Fitness, so I'm like, I want a big butt. I want bigger muscles. So I did this bulk and I love food. I still love food. Right. So I ended up gaining 30 pounds because of it. And I was like, this is not I don't know what a bulk is. Right. So I just was like stuffing whatever in my mouth. And
did it look like you physically, your physique? How did it look? Did you just go backwards, or did you build some muscle? You felt like, or
I built a little bit of muscle, but it mainly went to like
where it was originally.
Yeah, okay. It mainly went to like to my gut area because I just packed it on so quickly, and it was a bunch of like junk food.
And that's where you store yours mostly.
No, I'm pretty proportionate. Even as a bigger girl, like I was pretty proportionate everywhere, but it did go back to my stomach. So I lost 30 pounds in I think that was 2016. Next year I had plantar fasciitis, so I gained another 30 pounds. That stuff will
wreck you. You can't do nothing.
For 6 months I did steroid shots, a boot, yoga, massages, foam rolling, KT tape. That's when I learned about KT tape. I did so many things, and so like nothing. The only thing that really worked was acupuncture, and then those towel stretches, like stretching out my toes like this, and then grabbing it, stretching out my toes like this. And they help. That was the only thing that really helped. So I lost the 30 pounds, and then the following year I went through a divorce in 2018, and just dedicated myself in the gym. I lived in the gym. I didn't want to come home to a sad, empty house. Right. So when my ex would take my kids, I would just go to the gym and just run my little heart out. And I did a lot of cardio. And so my body just looked like a 13-year-old boy. I just was like, boop,
oh my gosh.
I had no curves to me. And so I was very happy. I'd lost 93 pounds. But I'd lost all my curves with my with that as well. So at that point, I then had to start building my body back up, and I built my body. I built my legs. I built my butt. I've built the muscles that I have, and I've maintained that for about 2 years now.
Wow, see, that's crazy. Yeah. So your body has gone through like. I think it's very fast, especially for you being a coach as well, which is like super valuable. You've had it to where you were overweight and then super skinny and then building curves. So like if someone were to come,
yes. So when I have clients that are overweight, or if I have clients that are underweight, and it's like, hey, I understand both spectrums of it. Yeah. I may not have been 100 pounds, but I do understand the troubles that both clients or both spectrums, having to lose the weight but try to maintain those curves, or trying to build those curves back, and just having to eat in a calorie surplus and just it's hard work. Both spectrums are hard work. If I had to say which one was harder for myself personally, in my own opinion, having to build my body from being where I was at, that has been the most work for me.
Right. So being from the skinny, right?
Yes,
skinny fat,
skinny.
basically, right? Or just skinny, super skinny?
Just very skinny.
Yes.
Just very skinny, very lean, having to build my body from that. Yep.
Well, why do you think it's harder? Just because it takes more, like, it's statistic. Like
it's a lot of dedication.
Yeah.
It's a lot of dedication. Having to eat right, making sure that, because you can't sit there and just starve yourself and think, oh, I'm gonna grow a butt, I'm gonna grow muscles. But then you also can't sit there and stuff your face with a bunch of junk and think, oh, this is gonna make me grow a butt. Yes, you're gonna grow a butt. You're gonna grow a gut too.
A butt and a gut.
Gonna grow a butt and a gut. Yeah. So having to eat the correct amount of macros, the correct amount of carbs and proteins and fats, and then doing the correct amount of exercises, and then knowing exactly how to squat, how to do those things, what to do, what exercises to hit, so that you hit those target muscles and grow the things that you want to grow.
Right.
Yeah, it took a lot of work. It took a lot of work and a lot of science behind it.
Yeah, it is hard, right?
Yeah.
See, one thing that is crazy too is, as coaches or as anybody, if you go to school, okay, obviously, like, to go to school to become a coach or nutrition coach or whatever it is you want to do, it's the books that you read and stuff like that is very, like, powerful, right? Very powerful. But one thing that I will always feel like is more valuable is self-experience, because you get to see it within yourself.
Absolutely.
And then it's not like being hypocritical, because whenever you learn something and it's fact, then you can help your clients, because but if because, hey, this is what I did and this will help me, then you have trust within the words that are coming out of your mouth and the programs that you're giving to help that person.
Right.
I think that's crazy.
I'll tell clients, like, they'll complain, like, oh, this hurts, and I'm like, I know exactly, or hey, as we're going into an exercise, I'm like, let me know if your hip flexor starts to hurt as we're doing leg lifts. I've had this injury several times. My hip flexors were hurting the other day as I was doing this. Let me know that I'll give you a modified. Like, it's so, like, I understand even if your eyelash hurts, I understand. I've had this injury before, but it's not being facetious. Like, I completely understand that. Chances are, especially being self-taught, I've had these injuries, so, like, speak up, or I've had these experiences. Please speak up. No question is dumb. No injury is dumb. Just speak up and just ask me. If I don't know the answers to it, I'll find somebody. I know somebody that has had that issue that you're going through, and I'll try to find the answers myself.
Yeah, see, and that's crazy, man. And you've been coaching people for a little while, like
for 2 to 3 years now.
2-3 years now.
Yeah, 2-3 years.
Wow. And what's been like? What do you enjoy about not just helping yourself, but helping these other people?
Oh wow. The thing I enjoy the most, when they already have confidence in themselves, pulling that confidence out of them, the look on their face whenever they do something that they didn't believe they could do before, when they, like, feel discouraged, or they're like, I don't know if I can really do this. And I'm like, just do it. Like,
stop saying you can't do it.
Yeah, just do it. Like, I know you can. I'm not going to put you in jeopardy. I don't want to be sued, but I'm not going to put you in jeopardy.
Right.
Like, trust me. I got you.
Yeah.
I got you, fam.
Let me hold you. I'll carry you.
Come on. And so when the first time that happened, I was helping a client squat. She had 2 herniated discs, and I was helping her squat. She was, she had 2 herniated discs.
Right.
I was helping her
like
squat.
Her lower?
Yes, on her lower.
That's the worst.
I know.
You can't bend.
I know. And I was helping her squat on the Smith machine, and she had never been on the Smith machine before, so I was helping her, like, going through it. And when she squat and she came up, and she just, like, the look of, like, accomplishment and, like, confidence in herself, like, wow, I just did that. Like, yes, you did. Like, you're not letting, whatever it is you're going through, you're not letting your back, you're not letting anything stop you. Like, that, I was like, I want more of that. And it wasn't even me that happened to me. It was, like, her victory. I felt that, and I was like, I want more of that. Like, it's just like a drug. It's so addicting.
Yes.
It felt like my victory.
Yes.
I had a client 2 days ago. It was her 1 year anniversary with me, and so she came and did a one-on-one with me right before my virtual class.
Those are so awesome, by the way.
I love
a whole year.
A whole year. I'm so proud of her that she stuck with us for a whole year.
You're like, dude, we gotta like party or something. Yes, gotta have fun.
Yeah. We definitely did. And she came just doing body weight squats. I put her on my story. She just did body weight squats when she initially came to me. And then for her 1 year, I think her max squat was 115 pounds.
Dude.
And the look on her face after she racked it, she looked at me. She was just like,
no way.
She was speechless for a few seconds. She was like, what? And I was like, you did that, like, and she did several reps of it, so I'm pretty sure we could probably stick some 45s on there. Yes. She did several reps of it, like, I was so in awe of her. I was like, do you understand that you came to me a year ago and we were barely doing body weight squats and perfecting your body weight squats? Now look at you, like, we're sticking 35s on, like, look at you, you're a fucking beast. Look at you, like, look at the progress. Like, I'm so proud of you. It's not even just the physical stuff, like the mental hurdles, like, get out of your head and like just the things that she's accomplished. I'm so proud of her. I'm so proud of, like, I chase after that. I love clients that are like that get out of their head, that just continue to push and push on their own. Even if they don't stick with me, I love seeing that. I love seeing them just do well for themselves. And that's the biggest thing for me. I love seeing people change and better themselves. That's why I do what I do. That's why I love this.
It is. It's like a drug.
Yeah, it is.
It's really crazy whenever you do something that makes you happy, right? So training makes you, so everything you just said right now is like I got so much stuff in my head right now. So
tell me.
So okay, so on your own, training makes you happy.
Yeah.
Okay, and so that's something that makes you happy. All right. But there's so much more whenever you help somebody else find their happiness. And because you just gave that to them, right? So as trainers, as coaches, people who help people with wellness or this and that, they're, as a kid, I never thought I would be a coach. I knew fitness was always in my life, always. Since I was 13, I was always in the gym, trial and error, injuries, this and that, learning about yourself. But I wanted to be an architect, then I wanted to do this and then that.
Yeah.
And so I never thought I would do this, right? People would think like, oh, trainers, they're just trainers, But now that we're in the field, it's like, every other profession out there is very important. Doctors, nurses, psychiatrists, all those people are very, very important. And they're, experts in their field. But as trainers, we get someone that is not happy with themselves, either not happy with themselves or realize that they love themselves enough to change.
Yes.
And we as trainers, we take in the emotional stuff they go through, stuff at home. They come and vent. You're building up those blocks for them to be a stronger mom, dad, whoever, brother, sister, mom, anyone. So we play so many different roles. So it's not like you are helping someone by counting reps and giving them sets and having them, hey, eat this whenever you go home. It's like you're emotionally involved in this together, and we bring so much out of people that they can't see.
I have to say though, it's twofold. It's not just like a one-sided thing where, because I'll have clients, they'll thank me like left and right. Thank you so much for doing this for me. Thank you so much for making this change. And I have to tell them, number one, that wasn't me that made the change. Like, you did this. Yeah, I'm just here. But two, I learned so much from them. There are times when I'm venting about this or whatever. I'm learning from them. I'm learning about parenthood. I'm learning, how to be a better significant other. I'm learning how to be a better girlfriend, how to be a better businesswoman, whatever it is. I'm learning from them. I'm taking it all in. I'm learning from either their errors or I'm learning from the positive things that they're doing. And I'm like, ooh, I like that. I'm going to take this in and just, I feed off of their vibes, their energy, or they feed off of mine. But it is a two-way street. I love my one-on-ones. I love my virtuals though too, but my one-on-ones are just, there's something about it. It's like a date each time. It really is. It's like an intimate
You set a time and day.
Yeah.
And we're gonna meet up.
Yeah, it really is. It's like an intimate date though, because we're not just sitting there working out and I'm not just counting reps for them. I mean, we're talking and we're
listening to music.
We're really just vibing and having fun. And it's like happy hour minus the alcohol. Right. It really is. During happy hour, you're sitting there talking, laughing, giggling, dancing, whatever, venting, and just, it really is. It's like happy hour in a gym setting without alcohol, with BCAAs like or pre-workout. Yeah, take your shot. Take your shot of pre-workout. Let's go.
And the bar is like,
yes, and then it's a wrong bar. It's the bar you're gonna lift, not the bar you walk into. Yeah.
So that's funny. Yeah. Whenever you got diagnosed with lupus, you were already a mom?
Yes. Yep.
You had both kids already.
Yes, I already had both kids. Yes.
So as I will always and forever say this, always. I was raised by my mom and my grandma, and my mom got married when I was like 5 or 6, and my stepdad, he did good, he was but he dealt with a lot of stuff, so he was never like emotionally involved. So that was kind of like I never really had the best father figure, but my mom, my grandma played both roles, right? Both roles, big time, and but the power of a woman is will always and forever be, I think, the highest thing on planet Earth. And then whenever you get a female to begin training and taking care of themselves and pushing their limits, dude, creating such a crazy power, dude, Yes. And then so whenever you got diagnosed with lupus, like that is just something else that could have been negative, right?
Right.
And I'm pretty sure at some moments it was negative, but you used that to be stronger as a woman, and then now your kids, I've seen that for years, and like so now they know what a woman should look like, and they know like what strength looks like, So how did you go through that? Because you're obviously a role model and idol to your kids as well. So like,
I can feel my eyes like watering up right now. I'm very emotional.
It's okay.
To stop you though, before I even answer your question, I have to say that I had just finished telling a client of mine on the way over here. I'm so proud of her because I'm asking her, I'm like, please post your progress pictures, and she, we're going over like doubt and stuff like that and fear. And I was like, I'm so proud of you because we're just talking about like her progress between the two pictures. And I was like, it's beyond that. You are a mom of 3 kids. You are a wife. You are setting the precedent for you are the example of your household. You have your husband on nutrition coaching. You yourself are that. And then she's a virtual client, so like I see her kids, running around in the background, stuff like that. They see mom is working at 7 o'clock, or mom's working out at 7 o'clock. They see mom is not hanging out with us, but she's doing her thing. She's working out. And then sometimes I have to say, like during virtual workouts, I see kids doing push-ups or doing squats or doing,
because it's fun.
Yeah, they see mommy doing it. Monkey see, monkey do. So they see mommy doing it, they want to do it too. So you are setting the precedent for that. Like women, I think, we think like, oh, and it's not to dim light on the man at all.
No.
It's really, really not. But I think, women, they think like, oh, it's the man's man. No, ladies, we really set that precedent for our family. Like we hold that glue, and we hold the glue, and I think each person, like the man holds a special precedent, the woman does too, but the woman does too, but these ladies though, they really like they're really the glue, and they really do just set the example for their household.
Absolutely.
Like when their husbands see them working out, it's like, oh yeah, now my husband's taking a walk with me, or now he's doing this, or now I have him eating healthier, now I have the rest of the household eating healthier. We got rid of these Cheetos, or we're not doing pizza every other day. Now we're starting to do chicken tacos or whatever, just making little healthier
just little
decisions.
adjustments, small adjustments.
It's like, ladies, y'all have so much of an impact on your household, on what you guys eat, on what you guys do, on what you guys wear, and so much, like, y'all, our opinions matter and what we
big
do.
Time.
Yeah,
big time.
Like, and I'm just so proud of that. So going back to what was your question?
So whenever it initially happened, right?
Yeah.
So like so there's obviously a phase to where you don't know what's going on with your body.
Yes.
And then you finally get diagnosed.
Yes.
And all this is happening, and you have to take care of yourself, okay? Because that's your health.
Yeah.
Right. I guess in reality, your kids weren't diagnosed. You were diagnosed.
Yes.
But then still, you're like, okay, I have like 2 kids. I have myself, and I have a job where I got people who I'm impacting or whatever. Like, how did you get past that? Like, what were some things that helped you kind of push?
I was very quiet about it in the beginning. I would say.
See, why were you quiet about it?
I was very quiet because I was embarrassed, and I didn't really understand my disease, and I didn't have anybody else to lean on.
Right.
So it's one thing that I would say is that, like, no matter what it is that you're going through, reach out for help. Find somebody that understands what you're going through, and reach out for help, whether it's a disease that you're going through, whether it's divorce, separation, whether it's, body image, whatever it is, reach out for somebody that's not going to judge you or question or whatever. Reach out to somebody that is going to just support you and understand you.
Right.
And I wish I would have done that. I wish I would have reached out to other fellow Lupies. And when I started doing that on Instagram is when I started, feeling just more support, like, okay, this is what's going on with my body. I understand that. I understand this now. I understand these are the causes and stuff like that. Is when I felt supported. But just being isolated and alone, like it's not. I really wish I wouldn't have done that. I just felt very, very just alone. Like, why is this happening to me? Why is this happening to me? I still was making the changes. I just didn't understand why this was happening to me. But in hindsight, looking at it, it was a blessing in disguise.
Right.
If I wouldn't have hit that rock bottom, I never would have lost the weight. I never would have done this. I wouldn't have had the clients that I had. They wouldn't have had their fitness journeys. They wouldn't have had this impact, or maybe they would have. Like, who knows what would have happened? But the things that have happened in my life that have led up to me being here right now with you wouldn't have happened.
Right.
It wouldn't have happened. Yeah.
Right. So you get, and I think this is something that we relate to, me and you. I feel like we have a connection with this specifically because when, so at age 18, I was kicked out of my home. So like my stepdad said, come home, get your stuff and don't come back for a few days because I don't want to see you, So I left, and as soon as I left, I never came back. And I told myself, dude, you're not going to go back. You're not going to rely on nobody. You're going to do it yourself because you can do it yourself, So then I did. And then training was always there, no matter what, right? So then when I got into the military, I was away from my family. I was away from, everything. And then you're by yourself.
Yeah.
So like how you isolate yourself, I was isolated too. And yes, I have people there that were my brothers and sisters, but they have their goals and their stuff like that. And it's crazy because you start to find people. There's people who were orphans that were in there. There's people who were same thing, kicked out of their home or have been homeless for the past 2 years and they finally joined, stuff like that. So much cool stuff, or so many great people. But we all want to try to find ourselves in these hard times,
Yeah.
So when I got stationed, training then became not me trying to get bigger because I was a kid that was very small and I got pushed around a lot in sports and stuff.
Aww.
So I wanted to get big, so I was like, I'm gonna hit these weights, and but when I went to the military and I was stationed there, it was more of I went by myself and I would hurt myself. I'd push my body to the point to where it was so painful. And whenever we did stuff like airborne missions or we would do long ruck marches and stuff, I would always do an intense workout the day before to make sure I was extremely sore. So the next day I can be in pain when I did it, And I did that for a toxic type of thing.
It sounds like it. I'm like, this is very toxic.
Yeah. But it made me, it's crazy because it made me a better soldier, right? People noticed me faster. I got promoted faster. I was that go-to dude. People, hey, Santiago, because they'll call you by your last name.
Yeah.
Hey, Santiago this, Santiago that. He needs to go to the board. He needs to go to this. He won the Soldier of the Month, and he does this and that. So I was constantly going and going and going, but because I was doing that to myself, right? But then that became, because then you begin to find who you are. You begin to find yourself. And then that became the point to where it was no longer creating pain for myself, but saying you know what, dude, this is, you might think that you're putting so much pain into your body because you want to hurt yourself because you want to feel something, but that excruciating pain, yes, and it became something that made me better, as a and then when I realized that, I was like, dude, this is not me trying to damage myself. This is like this gift that God has given me that just keeps saying, keep coming, keep doing it, and eventually you're not going to be blind no more, and you're going to see something. So I feel like you isolated yourself, so you put yourself in a corner because you felt embarrassed, and and no one knows what's going through your mind. No one knows.
People were like, "What's wrong with you?" And I was like, "It's very embarrassing." I don't know how else to explain. And I also cut my hair. I had very long hair.
Right.
I cut my hair, and people were commenting.
It's crazy.
My hair.
Why we do that?
Yeah, people were just like, "Well, I had big bald patches, big bald patches. Another symptom of lupus. And so I cut my hair because I was trying to let it grow back, and people were just asking a lot of questions what's wrong with you? Why are you doing this or why? And it's just, I just felt very just overwhelmed with life and just everything that was being thrown at me, and just wanted just to self-isolate and just kind of isolate and just kind of figure out what was going on, and just take it just one step at a time and just figure things out.
Yeah, health and fitness. I talk about it a lot too, and I talked about it the other day, but I feel like a lot of people have lost like sight on what health and fitness is, and social media is an amazing platform, right? What we can do with it. I would never have met you maybe if we didn't have it, you know?
Yeah.
And but I feel like people think like, hey, I have to look like this. I have to look like this because a woman should look like this.
Yeah.
And same thing with a guy. A guy should look like this, you know? But in reality, like the accomplishments from your client, like that had nothing. And I'm not saying her physique didn't change because I'm pretty sure it did.
No, it did. Yeah.
But it's, you know, everything else.
Fucking badass.
Yes, dude.
That is so fucking badass.
It's like
that hypes me up. Like,
yeah.
If I would be like, what? She did what in a year? Are you kidding me?
Right.
Like,
right.
To me, I know so, and I think social media also like. Obviously, like it's glamorized and it's like this and this. But I also like the other side of social media where it's like, hey, look, take the filters off. I have cellulite. I have this. I have, you know, what my stretch marks, whatever. I also like how it's like it's starting to be more genuine and stuff like that, more authentic. I care about, I like the transformations. I love who doesn't like the weight loss transformations?
Oh, yeah, it's bonus stuff, man.
Absolutely. Yeah. However, I also like those like behind the scenes things. I also like the like, man, I see that. I see that you're lifting more. I see that your mobility has improved. I see that your stamina has improved. I told a client that she's it's her third week on virtual workouts. I was like, dude, I see that your stamina is improving. Like, way to fucking go, girl. Way to go. I see you're not taking you're not taking breaks and that you're really keeping up. Like, girl,
yeah, dude. Even if you didn't lose a pound or an inch, look at what's happening.
Yes. Really, like you should be proud of yourself. And I tell them like you should be proud of yourself that, you know, whenever you started, you weren't taking this time out of your day to dedicate to yourself, and now you are a step further where you were at, you know, prior to. You're a step further, and you're taking this hour to yourself to make yourself better. Like, pat on your back for some self-love. Way to fucking go.
Exactly.
Now what's the next step? Now what are we going to do? Now that we got our little golden star, what's the next thing that we're going to do?
Yeah. It's like, don't get complacent, you know? Keep pushing forward. Yeah. And I think that's powerful. You know, I think like whenever you accomplish something, that's huge, no matter what it is.
Yeah.
You know, no matter what, even people, sometimes they feel discouraged, you know, like, hey, they come to like a session, they're like, hey, so like it's been like a week, I haven't seen nothing change, you know? And I'm like, dude, first of all,
let me tell
you're here.
You. Yes,
okay, so that's one.
Yes.
Congratulations.
Dude,
you know what I'm saying?
Yes,
2, you've been going hard for me for a week. Congratulations.
Thank you.
3,
yes.
you know, you're drinking more water. You're coming here. You're showing up. You know, you're feeling more happy. You're confident. More energized.
Yep.
Congratulations. That's 3.
Yep.
So you came to me today complaining about this number or how your clothes maybe aren't getting fitting right still. But you haven't even seen these amazing accomplishments that you have, done already.
Yes.
And that to me will always blow my mind.
Yes.
You know?
I have I don't sell like one session at a time. I used to. When I first started out, I would sell like, here, drop-in sessions or take. But then I had people that hadn't worked out in years or, you know, a long amount of time, and they would come in and some of them wouldn't be able to get past cardio. And we do about 10 to 15 minutes cardio in the beginning. Right. And they wouldn't be able to get past that. They sometimes they would throw up, they would quit, you know, what have you. They would be like, I'm going to come back tomorrow, and they don't come back. Yeah. So we do like multiple sessions at a time, and that way, like, hey, we get over this 1 day hurdle, your day 1 hurdle, which is
that's a hard one.
Yeah, it's a day 1 hurdle, and I tell them like, hey, look, you know, day 1's going to be a little rough. We're going to take it at your own pace, though. Don't, you know,
like listen, own pace.
Yeah, your own pace.
The
training wheels are on today. They'll probably be on for day 2. The other days we're going to take those training wheels off. Right. So it's going to be like it's going to be a real class.
Right. Days. And it's gonna be fun.
But I tell them though, because they'll get discouraged, and they're like, you know, I'm not seeing these results, or I'm not seeing these things, and I'm like, hey, number 1, you should be so like pat on your back that you even said yes. I can't tell you how many DMs I get, how many people visit the site and they are so on the fence about it. I can't tell you how many people I talk to, and they're so interested, they're so hyped up, they reach out, but they don't follow through with it. And I can't tell you how many people, it's been a year and I just scroll up through the messages and it's like, hey, it's me again, and it's several months later and I'm like, hey, what's up? Like, what can I do for you? I'm interested. And they just don't follow through.
Right.
So number one, fucking pat on the back. Yeah. For just following through with it. And then two, just exactly like you're saying, you're showing up, you're doing these things. Like it's really is just baby steps. Like getting to the gym. I can't tell you how many times I'm sitting in the gym for like, or in the parking lot for 20 minutes. And I'm like, Andrea, your pre-workout is like kicking. I'm like this and there, and I'm like, go inside. I'm sweating in my car. I'm like, but I don't want to go in. I'm just gonna sit like this for 20 minutes in the parking lot and just drive back home. But like and that's me 6 years later. Just like, I don't want to go in the gym. I don't want to go in the gym. I'm just gonna go in the gym for cardio. But I feel like woo when I come out there. Like it's these little baby accomplishments that people don't see or they don't talk about that are really just. They're a little. That's a golden star. That's a golden star. Dude. You don't necessarily like. I know people are like, "What's your goal in a month?" And it's like, "I want to lose 10 pounds." And underneath that, it should be like, I showed up for all of these days. I did this. I signed up for your program. I drink more water. Yes. I'm eating a little healthier. I'm self-loving myself. I'm putting myself first. I'm prioritizing myself. I'm setting an example. My coworkers are noticing that I'm losing weight.
Flip the page. Let's keep going.
Yeah, I'm getting goosebumps talking about it. Like, dude, you're doing so many things that you don't even realize that you're doing. You really are. Like, you're adding time back to your life. You're doing so many things for yourself. It's amazing. Like, fuck that number on the scale.
Yes,
like,
dude. Exactly. Exactly. And that's just by you. And it sounds so much better. Like, I'm going to lose 10 pounds. Okay, cool. That's one.
Yeah.
And then compared to that list you just said, dude, there's like 25 plus other freaking things.
That you've been accomplishing.
Right.
Yes.
Like, we're not trying to, this is where I feel like, social media or magazines or movies have set bad examples. Because like, I want to look like that.
Yeah.
Dude, those people are doing so. Okay, so I had a guy on the show too, Logan Franklin. He lives here. Mm-hmm. And he's bodybuilding, right? And he wants to go to the Olympia. And he wants to win it, right? But what he does is that's his passion, right? Okay, so that's what he loves to do. And he's building and building and building and building. Mm-hmm. Doesn't mean that 16-year-old kid who is watching him has to look like that. Yeah. You just show up to the gym. And even when he talks about it, it's the same thing, show up to the gym. And girls might look at you and be like, I want to look like Andrea. She has a nice body. She looks like this. And then it's like, you are a set example, but then you also talk about it just like how he does too. And people should strive to be the best self that they can be, because you are different than them, and they can get progress faster than you or less faster than you, who knows? But we should strive to just take the steps, be consistent, and just see what it does to your body.
To their body. Like, I love that. Like, whenever clients are like, I want to do this. I want to look like you. It's like, look,
stop saying that.
Yeah, like, no, you're gonna look like you. You're going to look like look, we're gonna do, and I'm going to get you the results that you want for your body and what have you. But like, I work out. I have my set regimen. I eat the certain way that I eat, and people ask me, how many times do you go to the gym a week? I'm like, I go about maybe 3 to 4 times a week, but I also do virtual classes. And then they're like, oh, and like behind the scenes, for my leg day, I spend about 2.5 hours in the gym. Yeah. Like, this has taken a lot of dedication, a lot of dedication. And I don't want someone hearing that being like, womp, womp, like, I'm never going to. No, girlfriends, anybody listening, this started out with me as a big girl going for 20 minutes. I had an hour lunch at my corporate oil and gas job, and I would go, and I worked out in Greens Point, which those that don't know Houston, it is called AKA Guns Point. Yeah. It's called AKA Guns Point. It didn't matter. It was, I'm from the hood. It doesn't matter. I would go walk out at that park during my lunchtime in the summertime, and I would just go walk for 20 minutes at the park, and then I would heat my lunch up. I'd come back to work, and I didn't smell the best. I would give myself a little wipe down. I would what happened? And then I end up getting a gym membership, and then I would go do 20 minutes of cardio during lunch. I'd come back. It slowly just built up from there. I didn't wake up one day or whatever. I told you guys earlier, it took 4 years for me to get to this. Like, stick with it. Whoever's listening to me right now and has discouragement or is like, I'm never going to get to this, I'm never going to, you will if you stay consistent with what you're doing. Or if you're not seeing results with what you're doing, go and hire a trainer, go and hire a coach, go and hire someone that has proven results, and go seek professional help when you need.
That's what you do with a doctor.
Exactly. When you need someone to look at a wound, to look at an ailment of yours, you go to a doctor. When you need someone, when you need a professional, you hire a professional. So go hire a professional and have them look at it, learn what you can, and then go from there.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
Yeah, and I always tell people, like, it's as simple as this. So you have your book, and your front cover is a picture of how you look like right now.
Mm-hmm.
But in that book are hundreds of chapters that have all these things, and it's like someone that's brand new, you've been sedentary or something happened. And it's something too that I have learned is whenever someone's in the gym and they might have looked overweight, or maybe some guy or a girl is skinny, they're trying to fill in, I used to be the one that was like, like, I wonder why. This is before, like, very immature guy,
That's okay.
and you would
growth.
Yeah, exactly. I would kind of be the judgment kind of person, like why did they let themselves get like that? Why, and then it turned to me like now where it's like you don't know what happened,
what the story
you
is.
don't know if she had lost maybe her whole family in a car accident, and then now she's depressed and she gave up for 10 years. You don't know these things, so don't judge people. And then so that's something that I have learned a lot of. And they don't have their book yet, like let them fill. You gotta fill in your book. You gotta write it in.
Ooh, that's gonna make me cry. That is so.
And I feel like that's passionate.
Yeah, no. There, ooh, you're gonna make me like divulge some things. I've had somebody in my life that was very critical of other people and the way that other women, especially other overweight women, looked. And she herself was very overweight and had lost a tremendous amount of weight, and was just very critical, like, oh, this person's very overweight, or this person looks like this, and it's just very, very negative about it. And it's like, yeah, you don't know someone's story, and being overweight, like knowing what it feels like to be overweight, and that person was also overweight as well. Like I could never, I gained my weight. So after I had each kid, I gained about maybe 20 pounds and lost it within the first week after having each kid. So people have asked me, oh, you have 2 kids, you gained the weight because of your kids. No, I didn't gain the weight.
It's crazy how we like to assume, right?
Yeah. And I was like, no, excuse me, I did not.
Yeah.
I worked out. I did
throughout
the
your pregnancy?
I did the elliptical. Yeah.
That's working out. It's movement.
Yeah, because I wanted those babies to slip out like butter.
Yeah.
Like, no, I wanted them out. No.
Yeah, good.
But no, that wasn't it. I gained the weight. I was at a corporate job, and my management wasn't the best. It was very, very stressful. They stressed me out tremendously. I was there for almost 6 years, and I just stress ate. I had very long hours. I always had to have my phone. I remember even just being at Disney World on the teacups and having to answer emails on the teacups.
No, so you can't enjoy life.
Yeah, so I was just very, very just stressed out and just continued to eat.
Right.
And I ate my emotions.
Yeah, and people don't know.
Yeah, and I have done a lot better job with coping with my emotions and just developed healthier habits.
Yes.
So instead of I'm sad, I'm gonna eat my Snickers, eat my hatred, eat my sadness or whatever with the Snickers. It's no, I'm gonna go put on my rap or go put on rock or whatever it is, my EDM, and then just go work out my frustration and go work out my anger, and I feel so much better. I'm gonna release all these endorphins, and and on top of that, I'm gonna take my little selfie. And
I'm like,
good.
what?
I feel so pumped, so good when I leave the gym, and I did something positive for myself as opposed to something negative to myself. I'm only hurting myself, or I'm only benefiting myself. Yeah, right.
See, so one thing that I want to ask you too is, okay, you currently still have, right? But hypothyroidism, right?
Yes.
Okay, so that was before lupus. Okay, so you had that, and you got that at a young age.
I got that right after I had my second son.
Okay.
So I went to I wasn't able to really I was hitting a plateau with my weight, and I went to a weight loss clinic. Okay. And they were like, oh, you have to get blood work, whatever. So I got blood work, and then they were like, hey, before we can prescribe you these medications, just want to let you know you're hypothyroid. And I was like, what is that? And they let me know, it affects your thyroid. So your thyroid is a little butterfly gland right here in your throat. It affects you have mood swings, your menstrual cycles, your skin, your metabolism, your energy.
That's the foundation gland of all hormones, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
So
yes, it is.
I learned about that too.
Yes. So I had no idea what it was, and I heard it from my family. I heard it. My husband he was my boyfriend at the time, but or now he's my ex-husband, but
he had it too.
No, but he had to deal with all that. So I had no idea why I was having these mood swings and why I was going through like depressions and through spells, and why I was so exhausted. And he'd come home from work, and I had my baby and I had my older son, and the house wasn't clean, or things, and it's that could be very frustrating. I could understand why that was frustrating,
right.
but
you don't know what's going on too.
Yeah, but I have no idea what was going on. So it was like Andrea, get yourself together. But it's like, I don't know what's wrong
'Cause you can't.
with me. Yeah, and at that point, I hadn't gone to the weight loss clinic, so I just couldn't figure out, like, I'm so tired. Oh, it's probably because of the baby. And at that point, I think my son was almost a year old, and I was like, okay, this is no longer.
It's been a year.
Yeah, he's sleeping through the night already.
Yeah.
Like, I had breastfed for 9 months, but I'm like, he's been sleeping through the night. What's the issue here?
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, okay, maybe I need to go get like B12 shots. So that's why I went. I was like, I need energy. I'm gonna go get B12 shots. And then they were like, okay, before we can give you these shots,
we gotta test you.
Yeah. We're gonna get your blood work done.
Right.
And they got my blood work done. They were like, oh, this is why you're so exhausted, because you're hypothyroid. I strongly urge anybody that feels just like weak, tired, just to go get blood work. Yeah. To go get a panel. Like, just see what your cholesterol is like. See what your glucose levels are like. See if you're pre-diabetic. If you're going to have a heart attack. By the way that we eat nowadays. I mean, I'm so glad that we're, there's more, vegan options and vegetarian options. I'm a meat eater. However, like,
me too.
Yeah. No,
I got you.
I love my meat. But the way that, our life expectancy is like, it's so I strongly urge anybody that just feels like something's wrong with me, I don't know what it is, go get a panel. Go get a panel, even if you don't have insurance, less than $100.
Yeah.
Just go get your labs done, and just, you're able to see, like, it'll give you a big old H for high or a little L for low, and you're able to see there, like, something's wrong. Google it. Google it, guys.
Yeah, I think I kind of want to make it a habit to where at least you get some sort of like test yearly.
Yeah.
Because I think we should.
Absolutely.
Especially whenever you hit a certain age, because we begin to like sort of deteriorate or begin the aging process negatively after like 30, 35.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then when you don't take care of yourself and give your body what it needs, then it's going to speed it up.
Yep.
But if you do what you got to do, then you'll basically, I guess, in like simple
thrive.
words.
Yeah. You'll have just a better quality life if you do, use the supplements that you're supposed to use. If you do, maybe your body needs a little bit more vitamin D because, you have osteoporosis in your family or whatever.
Right. Or you live somewhere that doesn't have sun.
Exactly. Yeah. So then, then let me get some more vitamin D, or let me take a vitamin D supplement, or what have you.
Right.
Yep.
That's crazy. Yeah, that's nuts. And that's good that you did that. Do you think that you had the hypothyroid during the pregnancy? Do you think?
Ooh, probably.
You think so?
I was very tired. Yeah, I was very tired, and I would. But it's.
You said this is after your second.
This is after my second one. Yeah,
so
my
the first one you're
totally
good.
Fine. Yeah, totally fine.
Wow.
My second one, I would always take naps, but that's pregnancy.
Yeah,
so
right.
Every pregnancy is different.
That's crazy.
But I would always take naps. So I think it probably just flared up.
Right.
Or something. Yeah.
And then that just went into, and then after the second one, then lupus came a few years after.
I had that. My second son, I had him in 2010.
Mm-hmm.
So no, it came 4 years later.
4 years later.
Yeah.
Dang. So you got hypothyroid like not too long ago, and then lupus. Mm-hmm. So like, do you feel like something else is gonna come up in the future?
I
don't know.
I'm like, I don't know.
Because with me, no, never. I feel like with me, if something were to keep happening like this, you become an expert in your diagnosis, right?
So once you have one autoimmune disease, they kind of all start like
they're all checking it out.
Yeah, you're more prone and more susceptible to get other ones. That's hard to say.
But do you live in fear?
No. And I'm kind of like, whatever happens, happens. Mm-hmm. Like, I take pretty good care of myself. And I mean, I told you earlier, like, my knees hurt, my joint, certain joints hurt from time to time. But I take pretty good care of myself. So no, I'm not worried. If anything happens, like, I'll deal with it.
Right.
Yeah, I don't live in fear. I don't live in worry or stress. Yeah, just whatever's going to happen in life, it's life. I'm going to deal with it.
Right. Yeah. One thing that we were talking about before that I wanted to bring up, which was, I think, very powerful, especially I feel like girls deal with a lot more of like the body positivity, self-love, stuff like that, through my experiences at least, than guys do. But I feel like only because males don't want to be
Voice it?
vulnerable enough to voice it.
Yeah.
Girls, they're more able to.
Yeah.
So I feel like it's the only reason why. So guys, dude, don't be scared, man. You gotta say something.
Say something.
And you're not gonna be more feminine.
So I had a ex-boyfriend once who is very self-conscious about his calves, extremely self-conscious about his calves,
right?
To the point where sometimes like I would have to like crop out like pictures, or like he would just like say things about his calves, and I was like.
And if you were to voice it, he would finally realize that, dude, there's a lot of people that are genetically built to a certain way that they have that, and they might feel, self-conscious about those things.
Yeah.
No matter what they do, same thing with other people. No matter what they do, they can't seem to lose weight.
Yes.
Sometimes, no matter what people do, they can't build muscle as fast as other people in certain areas.
Yes, there's some women that naturally are big-breasted. There's some women that are. They just don't have that. There's some women that naturally have big butts. There's some women that they have to build it.
It's just life, man.
It's just life. Like that's
what it is.
That's the body that you're given.
Right.
And you do, what? But like that's okay though. That's okay. That's
just work on it, man.
Yeah,
Come on.
That's your body.
Yeah, work on it. But one thing that you said earlier that I loved is that even whenever you were the big Andrea and then the skinny Andrea, you always still loved yourself.
Yes.
I think that is what people should always take.
Yes. So I didn't realize. I think we were talking about like how when I almost took 240 pounds, and that like if I,
because most people feel gross, like they feel
oh, I'm so big and I'm so this,
but you still felt like sexy as a woman.
I still felt, I had times where like I wore like baggy clothes and stuff like that, but I still,
but never to like hide. It was more to like just feel comfortable.
It was a little bit to like hide my rolls and stuff like that, but I still felt cute. I still felt sexy. And my ex-husband never made me feel any different. I don't think I had like sexy lingerie pictures and stuff like that as a bigger girl. I never felt like disgusted with my body or anything like that until I saw myself in pictures, and that's when I was like, I really look like I think that's when I was like, wait, I really look like this,
right?
But other than that, no, I loved myself. I loved the way I looked. Like it, I didn't love the way I looked. I liked the way I looked. Yeah. I knew I needed to lose weight, but I didn't. Yeah, I embraced it. Like I just thought I was a really thick, curvy girl. Yeah. And then I really did.
Even whenever you lost all that weight and you became really thin, was it still the same?
It was. Let me tell you this.
Okay.
Let me tell you this.
Okay.
I didn't think anything was wrong with me. I didn't think anything was wrong with me until other people decided to tell me I didn't have a butt anymore, or that I had lost my boobs. When other people decided to tell me their fucking opinions, that's when I was like, oh, but I don't have a butt.
And that's what millions of people do.
Don't have a boobs anymore.
Right.
Oh, and it's like, guys, don't tell anybody their opinions. Like that is an unsolicited opinion, and I'm guilty of the same thing. And so I'm being a hypocrite right now. I really try like to be.
But you got to work on growth.
It really is. I really try, like, they didn't ask for your opinion, like, zip it up. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I don't think I really knew how big I was until someone made that comment, or like, I would hide it a little bit, but I still dressed like cute. And then again, when I was really small, I don't think I knew those things until someone made those comments.
Right. That's what it always takes sometimes.
Yeah.
But then they plant something inside you.
Yeah.
So sometimes it's like,
a little complex, and it's like, and so I'm at that point now. Yes. Now I'm at the point now where I will, like, I'll know, okay, yeah, like I'm in the cutting stage now. Right. So yes, my butt's getting a little smaller. Right. I'm fine with that. And if a client,
because you're in control too.
Yeah, exactly. So a client or a friend says your butt's getting smaller, or you're getting lean, or whatever it is.
Like, I know what I'm doing here.
Yeah, doesn't. It just I know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
I know what I'm doing, and I don't care.
Right.
I really don't care about other people's opinions.
Right.
Like, it doesn't on my body. Like, I don't care.
Right.
I don't care. Yeah. Right. And I feel like people should just be so confident and like rock solid in who they are, and really just embrace who you are. Embrace who you are, so that when someone tells you, like, tries to like nitpick at whatever little thing it is, it's like, sister or brother, that doesn't mean anything to me. That slides right off
Right
like
off,
butter.
man.
That doesn't, your opinion doesn't mean anything to me. I know who I am. I know what I look like. I know, like, I love those things. That stretch mark, I love that. That mole, I love that. That weird little eye twitch that I do, I love that. Like,
because that's me.
Yeah, that's me. That's
Right.
me. That's what makes me right now. Yeah.
Exactly. And that's good. I think that is very powerful for anyone to take, you know, in their teen, especially when you're becoming a woman or a guy, you know, like it's like you go through those stages where you're trying to find who you are, and those stages are hard.
Yeah.
And then you learn about yourself, you know, and yes, reaching out for help is always going to help, but you need to, you know, those switches in your head, you know, the mentality growth that we go through is very important to take and analyze every step of the way, you know?
Yeah.
So if someone right now is feeling like they are taking those things and they're like, it really hurts them, you know, like, why is that? He said this, she said this, and it just hurts me. It's been like 2 days and it's still in my freaking head.
Yeah.
You know, why? Why is it in your head? Go do something about it. If you go do something and then now it's gone, now you know.
Yeah.
Just like if you have a headache, you know, and I don't recommend this, but if you got a headache, then you take a painkiller. Why? Because you know.
Yeah.
So if something else happens to you again, then now you know, okay, you know what? It might have hurt, but this is how I'm going to deal with it. And it's going to make me better. You know, and I think that is the self-empowerment that we all should take, no matter who you are. Even if you don't want to join or do a, you know, health and fitness journey, or if you don't want to look like that girl or whatever. But everyone's health is essential.
Yes.
You should have it, and you have people who love you. You have moms, dads that love you. You have people that you might be impacting every single day, or, you know, anything. You're still valuable in this world, no matter who you are. Sometimes we just don't see it. But you know, those things that you go through that are hard, I feel like those are like good times to thrive in. You know, you should try to, like, you've been through all your stuff, you know, you've been through a variety of different things, but it's made you who you are today. Like, same thing with me, you know, and same thing with all the clients.
You've grown through it. You didn't just go through it, like go through the motions and just let it make you bitter. You let those things, or you allowed those things to make you better, and you like grew through them. You learned from them. You set the standards like for yourself through them. And like that, you could have just been like, I'm alone, I'm isolated, I'm a lone wolf, I'm this, I'm that, I'm just going to go through the army, I'm just going to do my one tour or whatever it is, like but instead, like, you took that, you progressed, you made something of yourself, like you continually just like set like new heights for yourself. Like that says something. Like you took a not so good circumstance and just were like, nope, I'm gonna, like, life gives you lemons, you made lemonade.
Hell yeah.
That's what people should do. Like, hey, look, this thing that people say is not the best, like, it's wonderful to me. It's beautiful to me. Like, it's a masterpiece to me.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right, girl. Dang, this has been a good conversation. I like, you have so much for it. You know, I can't even like label it. There's no word for it yet. You got so much Andrea for it. That's what I'm gonna call it, right?
Thank you.
But for anyone out there, and we'll make this specific, anyone that might have hypothyroidism or lupus, and you can, even if you don't have that and you might be suffering right now with something that is new to your life, what words of advice would you give someone right now that might be going through some times like that?
Definitely to reach out, to not isolate, and just to know, like, your circumstance, that doesn't like, it's not the end all be all. Like, just because you're going through it now, to think back in a time of your life where you were going through something where you were like, oh God, this is the end all be all. I'm never going to live to see another day. I don't know how there's no light at the end of the tunnel. Whether it was a breakup, losing your job, you had to move from your house, whatever it was, you know, losing a loved one, whatever unfortunate circumstance that's happened to you in the past, you lived to see another day. You lived through that issue. You lived through that circumstance. So in whatever circumstance that you're going through right now, whether it be you're diagnosed with hypothyroidism, you will live through this, and don't just live through it, thrive through it. Know that, like, other people, you can be like a testament to people. You can be a witness to people and go, like, really grow through that. Like, okay, yes, you know, you're hypothyroid or you're lupus, or, you know, you've been diagnosed with diabetes or whatever, but like, it's not a death sentence. Like, unless someone gives you, you know, you have a month, but even then, like, you got a month to go live your life. Like,
and to go
live
do
your
something.
best life.
Yes,
go live your best life. Like, whatever it is. it's not whatever it is. It's not a death sentence. It's a divorce is not a death sentence. I thought it was a death sentence for me, and it's not. We're both living our best lives. We're both co-parent. We both live our best lives. I thought being laid off from my corporate job a year ago, I was like, oh God, what am I going to do now? It's not a death sentence. I'm thriving. I'm living my best life. Whatever it is that you're going through, it's not the end all be all. This is a chapter in your life. The pages will turn. That chapter will end, and you'll go on to a new chapter. And just think of it like that. Maybe you don't see the light right now, but you will begin to see that light at the end of the tunnel, and it'll get bigger and bigger, and you'll be out of it.
Boom. Write your book.
Yeah.
Just write it up.
Yeah.
That was good.
Yeah.
Yes. So if anyone right now is listening and just like relates to you, they're feeling something right now, they're emotionally attached to everything you've been doing or you've been talking about and stuff you've been through. If someone wants to reach out to you, like say thank you or ask you a question or find some sort of help through you, where's like the best place for people to find you?
Instagram or our website. So Instagram, I'm constantly on Instagram. That's probably the best actually place to reach me.
That's why I reached out to you. So
yeah. So Instagram. Do I give them my Instagram?
Yeah, hell yeah.
Instagram is Andrea AndreaBoldBodyFit.
Yes, I like it too, by the way.
And then thank you.
Yes.
And then the website is boldbodyfitnesshouston.com.
Nice.
Yeah.
Bold Body. Yes, I like it all.
Thank you.
That was good. All right, ladies and gentlemen. So if you are right now listening and you are related to this or you're enjoying everything that Andrea said and you just feel like someone else can use this, all we want is for you to share it out to your best friend, your gym buddy, your mom, dad, brother, sister, neighbor, coworker, whoever, anyone who could use some push or some motivation or some words of encouragement to help you get out of a funk or help them get out of a funk. It's very important for us to be with each other and help people through hard times because just like Andrea said, it's really good to reach out for help. And sometimes if you just kind of poke in and say, hey, is everything okay? That can help somebody, y'all. But thank you, y'all, for listening to another episode here on the Train Hard Live Strong podcast. I'm your host, Coach Matt, guest speaker, Andrea Elliott. And as usual, y'all, get out there, train hard.
Live strong.
All right, everybody. Peace.
Bye.
You just finished another amazing episode on the Train Hard Live Strong podcast. If you have grabbed any sort of value from this episode, all we ask is you simply share it out to your Instagram story, Snapchat, send it to your best friend. If you want to know when the next amazing episode or guest speakers are coming on the show, make sure to check out our website, trainhardlivestrong.com. And also, if you want to see the sickest apparel, go ahead and check out athleticbeings.com. We'll see you all in the next episode. Coach Matt, peace.